Good morning. My name is Nicholas Christ, and today we're going to be discussing the UAS selection for Royal Dutch Shell, our corporation. We've identified the need for UAS in our field of business for oil refinery inspection, well site inspection, and pipeline inspection. So this is our selection process that we've conducted and narrowed it down to one aircraft that will be essential to our operation. I understand we're short on time today. Your time's very valuable, so we're just going to go over a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about today, the essentials. Today we're going to talk about the appropriate aircraft for our application. We'll be covering three. We did do research on five possible aircraft. We're going to justify our payload selection and why we chose that payload selection. And then finally, we're going to go over the cost analysis and break down the individual components of that aircraft. After conducting research on five potential aircraft for our application, we narrowed it down to just three. The initial five were the Firefly 6 Pro, the Falcon 8 by Intel, the Unique H520, and the Matrice 600 and Matrice 210 by DJI. However, we narrowed it down to our top three choices that we think would be best fit, which are the Matrice 210, the 600 Pro, and the Unique H520. After we analyzed our final three aircraft that we narrowed it down to, we came up with our final decision and best fit aircraft, which will be the Matrice 210. All three are great aircraft, while the Matrice 210 and the Matrice 600 are the best out of the three. The Matrice 210 is more durable, it's easier to fold up to and transport, which in our industry is essential since we have to travel a lot for inspections. Between the Matrice, DJI products and Unique, DJI has a higher quality of material and aircraft. It is an IP43 rating for weather, very durable in adverse weather conditions such as rain and snow, and it has a better camera quality than the Unique, as well as hot payload swap capabilities, which means we do not have to power down the aircraft to swap payloads, and that is reducing our downtime and cost. After determining what our aircraft would be, we had to decide on our payload selection, or selections in this case. For our first payload, we went with the Zenmuse XT. This is a thermal imaging payload. It has 2x, 4x, and 8x zoom capabilities. This will be essential for refinery inspections and well site inspections because it'll be able to detect hot spots on tanks and pipeline, and if emergency rose, such as a flare-up or a fire on a refinery, it'll be able to detect that and determine which direction it's spreading so we can extinguish that fire. This camera can also shoot in 640p at 30 frames per second. Now DJI has also come out with the Zenmuse XT2. The XT2 is nice because it is one payload that can shoot in thermal imaging like the Zenmuse XT, and it can shoot in regular 4K video. However, the Zenmuse XT2 does not have the zoom capability as the Zenmuse Z30 that we're going to be talking about next. And in our industry, it's essential that we can zoom in and check out all the components of the refinery and well site. That way we can make sure they're in good working order so there's no accidents. Also, the Matrice 210 has dual gimbal capability, as we stated before, so it's not really an issue of downtime of having to swap out payloads and such. So while the XT2 is a great option, the Zenmuse T is the better fit for our application. Continuing on with our payload selection, our next payload that we selected is the Zenmuse Z30. Now DJI offers numerous camera options that shoot in 4K and are very nice cameras, however they are more for cinematic and imagery, while the Zenmuse Z30 is going to be best fit for our industry due to its zoom capability, which is essential for inspections. This camera has a 30 times zoom capability, a 6 times digital zoom capability, and a 0.01 gimbal stabilization, which means the gimbal will not be off at all, even with minor vibrations in that. so it's very stable and will allow us to get the best picture for our inspection. And with the 30 times zoom capability and the 6 times digital zoom, it'll allow for up to 180 times magnification of that image that we're trying to inspect, which is outstanding and will give us the best picture that we need to conduct and complete our inspections. Moving on to the price analysis. If we look at the Matrice 210, the Matrice 600, and the Unique H520, you'll notice that the 210 and the 600 are very close in price, and the Unique H520 comes in at $32,000. Now I understand there's a large price gap of around $47,000. However, when you're looking at the quality that the 210 and the 600 had over the Unique H520, it just really, it wouldn't have made sense to get the H520. Now, the 210 and the 600, yes, the 600 is slightly cheaper by about $100. However, the Matrice 600 is much bulkier, harder to transport than the 210, and it does not have that dual payload capability, which would result in increased downtime, raising hourly rates for workers and that, which results in more money lost. So the Matrice 210 again is the best fit, even though it's not the cheapest price initially. However, it is going to save us a lot of money down the line in reducing hourly rates and money lost in our inspections. Now that we've covered our selection process and analyzed the payloads, cost, and why we chose the aircraft, does anyone have any final questions or any input they'd like to add as to why we chose this aircraft? Thank you for your time.